Welcome to the UC Davis Continuing Professional Education information session for the Applied Sensory and Consumer Science Certificate Program. I'm going to give it just a few moments for people to filter in, and then we're going to get started. All right, it looks like our numbers are evening out. Okay. Once again, thank you so much for joining today. You are at the Applied Sensory and Consumer Science Certificate information session for UC Davis Continuing Professional Education. This is your information session, and I want you to be able to ask as many questions as you would like. So please do feel free to outreach through the Q&A, and I'll be sure to answer those as we go. I am your enrollment coach. My name is Christy Craig, and I'm here to assist you not only with today's information session, but also throughout the entirety of earning your certificate. I'm going to go ahead and share in the chat with you a link to my Calendly, as well as my direct contact information. Please do feel free to reach out to me directly with any additional questions you have. If you'd like to go over your individual situation, I'm happy to review that with you. Also know that my Calendly is there, so you can schedule based on your availability. I'm more than happy to meet with you via phone or Zoom. So that should be in the chat for you now. All right. Let me go ahead, try and move this over. I apologize. There we go. All right, so my information is in the chat for you. I will be sharing throughout the presentation different links and attachment in the chat, and you'll utilize that Q&A feature to ask questions to me. To help you time your questions best, here is today's agenda. I'm going to start out by going over a brief history of the program. I'll discuss the program logistics and time commitment. We'll go over how to finance your education, and then I will wrap up by having a few videos with the course descriptions from our instructors, and then go into the Q&A open feature. But again, feel free to ask your questions as we go, and I'll be sure to address those throughout. I will also be following up today's session with a recording, so I'll be sure to attach all of those features that I share in the chat with you in that as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and start out with a history of the program. Our program began in the year 2000, and it was created by our current instructors. It is a program that is available fully online and offered and recognized globally. Because of this, we've been able to reach over 25 countries and 23 different states in the U.S. We are actually coming up on our 25th cycle, pardon my error there, and we hope to have many more to come. Here are our instructors. For courses 1 and 4, we have Rebecca, who goes by Becky, and she'll be teaching courses 1 and 4, and then JX teaches 2 and 3. I'm going to go ahead and play a short clip now from our instructors to introduce themselves and also give you a little insight into the course.
Hi, welcome to the Applied Sensory and Consumer Science Certificate Program from UC Davis Extension. I am Becky Bleibaum. I teach courses 1 and 4, and I also am Chief Sensory Officer at Tragon Corporation in the San Francisco Bay Area.
And my name is Jean-Xavier Guinard. I'm a professor of sensory science at the University of California at Davis, and I will be teaching courses 2 and 3.
When we started the program, there was really nothing like this that existed. And we got together, we all have a passion for sensory science and teaching. And JX is a professor on campus. And I actually work for, at a business in San Francisco. And we apply these methods on a regular basis. So everything we've learned from applications from a business perspective, we've tried to put into this course. From product development issues, from quality control issues, from just looking at products out in the marketplace and, what they represent, and also ad claim substantiation.
This was truly breakthrough innovation at the time, and we're very glad that we took the lead on this initiative and that it's become such a successful one today.
We really intended to have 25 students per year. We thought that would be a great goal, and we'd do this for several years. And it's turned out over the years, we've had consistently over 50 students per cohort. We've graduated over 750 students and from 35 countries around the world.
All right. So let's start out with, wow, this is just having a few hiccups. I do apologize there. Okay, so what you are looking at is the prerequisites for this program. The prerequisites is that you have a college level statistics course, and the statistics area is a large component of courses 2 and 3, so you need to have a good grasp on it. We have chosen the statistical program R to be used throughout this entire program. So while you are not required to already have a background education in R, do know that that will be the program that you will be using, and there is a link online if you'd like to download that and become familiarized with it. Also, if you have not yet have a statistics course in your background or completed one recently, if you're not super up to date with it, know that there are some refresher courses or courses that you can take to complete online. We do not require a transcript for this. This is adult learning. It is all about you being best prepared for your success in the program. So please know that you can take an online course to fulfill your statistics prior to the start of course 1. Prior to the start of course 2, this needs to complete. So that means you can take course 1 and do the statistics course concurrently. You do need to have statistics completed prior to January 1 of 2026 for you to be able to register into the next course. So here are a couple different resources that are available to you, but do know that any statistics course that you take will be able to fulfill as long as it is academically accredited. Sorry everyone, I'm not feeling super great. Okay, the 4 different courses of this program are the Application of Sensory and Consumer Science Principles, the Consumer Testing Methods is course 2, Sensory Evaluation Methods is course 3, and Foundations of Sensory Science is the final course. The courses of this program do need to be successfully completed sequentially, and all 4 courses need to be completed with a grade of C or better in order to pass and earn your certificate. At completion, you do earn a certificate in Applied Sensory and Consumer Science from UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education. I'm going to go ahead and play one more video here. It's going to give you a deeper dive into the subject matter of the 4 courses. And let me go ahead and start that now.
So this program is truly unique because you start with the foundations of sensory science and understanding the basics behind the methodologies that we're going to use. You then apply that to sensory evaluation of products, and then you go into consumer testing for those products and services. And then in the last course, you wrap everything up by applying everything you've learned into designing better products and services.
There's a lot to this science, right? So we want to understand the foundations, and then sensory methods, consumer methods, and applications. And
it's a very complex subject matter, and it needs to be approached scientifically, which is something a lot of people don't realize. And I think that's the main contribution that we've made and the people before us, like Rosemary Pangborn, who really turned this into a scientific field, which involves a lot of psychology, statistics, psychophysics, physiology. So it's really a very complex group of disciplines put together to better understand the sensory properties of foods and other consumer products, as well as the consumer needs and how we meet those needs by designing better products.
so the first course that we teach is the Foundations of Sensory Science, and it starts out with some physiology and some anatomy and how the sensory system works, and we get into psychophysics and measurement and some scale use, not as much as in later courses, but it's really an introduction and lays a foundation for the program.
So in the second course, we talk about sensory evaluation methods, which is a very broad term to describe all the analytical methods we use to understand the sensory properties of consumer products. And we spend a lot of time on difference testing or discrimination testing or similarity testing. And then we go into descriptive analysis methods. In addition to covering those two broad sets of methods, we also cover statistics, both univariate and multivariate statistics, and we have you do a lot of those. And so many of the assignments will have you become top-notch statisticians. Look forward to that.
Yeah, they're happy when they get to course 4.
So in the third course, we talk about consumer testing methodologies. That's the time when we focus on how do we determine consumer needs and interests, and how do we design products to maximize the acceptance of those products. So we still do a lot of coverage of different methodologies. We spend a lot of time on statistics as well. We build on what we learned in the second course, and we do things like preference mapping, which are multivariate statistical applications to consumer data.
All right, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. So again, the program is taught in a cohort fashion. It is best for you to complete the program in 1 year. You start with course 1 and each one builds on the next to be completed within 12 months. As you can see from the schedule on the screen, there are breaks in between. Our first course begins September 29th, so just a couple weeks away here, and that will run until December 7th. After that, the next course begins January 12th and will run until March 22nd. The following third course is April 13th through June 21st, and then you'll pick back up for your final class July 13th through September 20th. So there are quite a few larger breaks in between, gives you an opportunity to have some downtime. Each of the courses are 10 weeks long, and again, they are sequential, so your only entry point for the 2025-2026 cohort is this fall, beginning September 29th. There is still room available. Feel free to register right away. Let me go ahead and bring up the time commitment. Oh, actually, it looks like there are a few questions starting to come in, so I will go to those just next. For each of the courses, it is recommended that you spend approximately 7 to 12 hours per week commitment to success. And again, you must receive a grade of C or better in order to pass the course. All right. So for the time commitment, again, 10 weeks long, 7 to 12 hours per week commitment to success. That's going to include all of your reading assignments, watching the pre-recorded lectures, study time, completing the assignments, participating in the discussion board forums. So that is a good indication of what you would need to be successful in the program. The course is taught at a graduate study level, and actually let me back that up real quick. It is taught at a graduate study level, and you do earn 16 academic quarter units at a graduate study level from this program. Each one is 4 courses, academic units. So do be aware of that if you are looking to do transfers. It will be up to the accepting institution. Tuition for this program is $2,200 per course, or you can pre-register for all 4 courses and prepay to receive a 10% off the total tuition for textbooks. Also know that there is an estimated cost for textbooks for each course between $150 and $250. They are course readers, and you purchase those electronically, and you're able to have those integrated into the program. Okay, let me go ahead and jump back to the time commitment, and I'm going to open up for questions and address what we have so far. Okay, the first question that came in is, if you register and need to withdraw, do you get 100% refund? No, there are different timelines associated with your withdrawal. If you register for the full 4 courses up front and then drop, You do pay full price for the first course that you're taking, and then the remainder would be refunded to you minus a processing fee. And let me see if I can bring that up real quick. Okay. So that can be found under our, let's see here. Today's not my day. Sorry about that. Let me bring you back to the schedule. Click here, so hopefully I'm not moving everything around. Okay, I'm going to share with you our page. Okay, and let me go ahead and share this in the chat with you in case you would like to follow along. All right, the link to the program page is in the chat. Do know again that if you are doing a payment of all 4 courses up front, you can do the prepayment and receive 10% off. You would just click, select all 4 courses and enroll. And the cost breakdown is here. It also gives you a lot of resources, but what I'm actually looking for now is our withdrawal program fee. Okay, let me bring this over real quick. Okay, so I believe it is under withdrawals. Drop another link here for you, and this is going to give you all the details if you decide to prepay, what the drop policy is, if you are doing a pay per course, what the drop policy is. So I am going to share that in the chat with you. Let me bring this up. Okay, so this is prepay withdrawal policy. And hopefully this will be able to answer your questions there. I also wanted to go onto the main page and see if it's listed per course, because I believe that's where it actually is. Okay, let me bring this back. I forget which screen is sharing. Okay, so when we bring this up to the first course, if you go to enroll now, to find the majority of your section notes, including the course details and everything there, including the actual course dates. So know that that is a great resource for you to be able to go to find all of the details about the program. Okay, I'm going to play one more quick video for you. All right, this will tell you a little bit about more of the structure of the classes.
So the way the program works is for each of the courses, you're going to have 10 lessons, which are going to be put online every week. And then you're going to go over those materials, and then you're going to post some questions and answer some questions from your peers or from us on the forum. And then at the end of each lesson, or after 2 lessons, you'll be asked to take a quiz. And then at the end of the course, you take a final exam. And then throughout the course, you have a number of assignments, and you have to complete those assignments, the quizzes, and the final exam to get your final grade.
Yeah, most of the learning, what we've heard from students is that the value that they get out of the course is one thing to read the materials, do the homework assignments, and participate in the class, but most of the learning really comes from the discussion boards and the dialogues you have with each other. We learn a tremendous amount from students and the issues you're dealing with, and you learn from each other, from students around the world. So definitely the discussion board is a big part of this program.
So Becky, what's your favorite part of the program?
It's hard to pick one, but I have a lot of favorite parts. And I think the global nature of our student population and what we learn from everybody around the world. A lot of companies, a lot of these multinational companies are testing in every part of the world now. And it's really interesting to understand behavior and have students in those programs, and they talk to each other. And we learn a lot from them.
For me, it's really the interaction that takes place among the participants in the course. There is the forum. There is an opportunity for them to ask us some questions, but to ask each other questions and raise issues. And in the end, I think we learn just as much from them as they learn from us.
Yeah.
Another very cool part is that we work with top-notch professionals. So the way the materials are put together, the way they're delivered, I think we're up on the latest technology, and we take advantage of it. And we're just extremely grateful to be part of such a program.
Right, and the program's evolved over the years. I mean, you think about where technology was when we started the program versus where it is today, and it keeps evolving. And this team stays on top of it. They're always kind of pushing us to the next level. So it's fantastic to have their support. In sensory, it's a small world, really. And like I said, we have about 750 graduates, and a lot of those graduates do attend these conferences, global conferences, the Pangborn Symposium, Eurosense, any other conferences in sensory. So we have had luncheons. We try to get together with students at those luncheons, but you should also connect with your fellow colleagues if they're going to be there, and meet them in person. That's a really nice combination of the online learning and then the in-person experience.
Yeah, you're going to become part of a very special and select group of professionals.
Okay. So as you heard, we do encourage you to be as active in the course forums as possible. This allows you to meet a great new network resource through your fellow classmates and allows you to engage in the industry's community. So again, the course materials are available for you to purchase once you register for the course. The course does begin on the 29th, so it is important that you register for those materials ahead of time. Also, this program is fully academically accredited, which allows for financing opportunities. So this program does allow for private student loans. It is fully VA approved, so if you have a GI Bill, it is applicable for sponsorship there. Also, if you have employer sponsorship, whether it be employer sponsorship or tuition reimbursement, we are able to work with you with both of those. Your employer does have the opportunity to pay per course or to pre-register you and receive the 10% discount. Now, organizations also looking to send groups of 3 or more students also receive a 10% discount. So you are able to register course by course and still have that 10% discount, or you can register all up front. However, discounts cannot be combined, so if you are pre-registering a group, it is still just the 10% discount there, but it does add up. I am going to drop in the chat for you some resources. First, I'm going to put the schedule. That has all of the information and the dates needed for you to be able to provide to your employer or make the decision on your own if you'd like to join. Also, I'm going to include the fact sheet for the program. This outlines each of the courses, provides the academic quarter unit count on it. It also includes the total cost and all details about the program. It works really well as that 1-minute flyer if you are looking for employer sponsorship. Finally, I'm going to include an authorization form. This authorization form, hopefully that added, it did. This authorization form is for you to share with your employer. If your employer is going to sponsor you or others, be sure to have them complete that. It works as your PO or authorization form. They'll include your information, their information, and sign off on it. Once it's returned, we'll be able to register your group with the discount or individually with a prepayment discount, or you are able to pay per course. By doing so, we'll be able to invoice your employer. Now, if you are looking to register yourself, those looking to register themselves can pay via credit card directly through the online links. And I will be following up this presentation with those links for you if you would like to register that way. Okay, I am going to drop in one more final link, and that is going to be to our finance department. If you are looking to finance your education, please do reach with Suzette Odom or Tom Fan. They are both amazing and able to assist you with any questions that you have about financing your education. Do note that currently we do not offer international student loans, so I do apologize for that. Okay, I do believe that is just about everything there. I'm going to drop in a link that will bring you to the program page if you are ready to register now. Again, the program does begin September 29th. You will gain access to the program 1 week prior, so that way you are able to set everything up, become comfortable with the program. We do use the platform Canvas, so if you haven't used that before, I'm more than happy to provide a tutorial link within our website for you within the email that I follow up with. I am going to go ahead and open the floor to questions. While I answer your questions, I am going to launch a quick poll. If you would please give me a little feedback on today's session. Again, please don't hold technology against me. It was not my friend today. Also, I will probably use an old recording of the last presentation that I completed about 3 weeks ago. It covers all the same details, but it doesn't have the technical glitches or me being ill, so it may be a little clearer and more intuitive that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer your questions. Okay, the first question that has come up is, do you mean that all lectures are pre-recorded? If yes, how can we ask questions to our course instructors? Thank you. I knew I was forgetting something. Yes, the lectures are pre-recorded. So you will have those on Monday. The way that the asynchronous class feature works is each week is considered a module. Each class is 10 weeks long, so 10 modules. You'll sign in on Monday and you'll have an entire week's worth of work, assignments, readings, pre-recorded lectures, everything to complete on your own schedule. Now, there is an optional open office hour or extended education time that you are welcome to join. It is generally held on a Wednesday evening around between 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, it is completely optional, but it is a live Zoom meeting with your instructor where you can ask questions, where your entire class is welcome to join in. You can engage, you can network, you can discuss different topics of the week. That is available to you for live engagement in a synchronous setting. If you are not able to attend that, that's okay. Again, completely optional component to your learning. However, you can reach out to your instructor at any point. You have a live instructor there. You can reach out to them. They are working professionals, so they generally ask for about 24-hour turn time on response, things like that. But you do have also teaching assistants there to help with more immediate questions. So please know that even though this is an online learning experience, there is opportunity for engagement. There is also opportunity for direct contact if you're not able to join during those live hours. I know for our international areas, that's not always the most convenient time. That is the time that the instructors generally hold it. Okay. Next question. Do you have any sample lectures? Yes, I believe there's actually one online where you can join in. Let me see if I can bring back up our website to share. Okay, let's see if I can find this. Go to our program page. I'm just going to drop this link one more time because I feel like it's easier if you're just following along. Okay, in the chat there is I'm sharing on the wrong screen, I'm sorry. When you go to our program page, if you scroll down, it is about midway here. You can watch a sample lesson. It will ask you to sign in, or sign up, so you will put in your name, your email address. I believe that's all that it asks. And it will send you a link to take the sample lesson. So first name, last name, email. Please make sure the email you put in is accurate. That way we can send you the link for the lesson. You'll need to select that you agree to receive this, mobile phone number, and then we will actually send you the information. Again, by registering for the information session, we probably already have these details, but it's required for you to get the lesson. So that is available if you would like to view a sample lesson. And let me share that too. Okay. All right, that link to the sample lesson is there too. Okay, can you report the stats class repost the stats class refresher? Yes, let me go to that. I will be sure to send this in the chat as well. I will be sure to send this in the follow-up email as well, so that way you have it. But I am going to go ahead and just put these notes in the chat for you now. All right, that is in the chat, all the details about the program, as well as the brush up courses, a Coursera course, a Sailor Academy, any local junior college statistics course. All of those will work fine. And if you have one that you're particularly looking at, feel free to reach out to me, or I can always send you a link to one. Okay, the next question, do we need any background in coding for the R portion? You do not, no. You are more than welcome to download the program R ahead of time. We do offer a free link. I will also send that in the follow-up email for you, so that way you can equate yourself with it. But no, you are not required to have any coding prior. This program does not require any prerequisite aside from the statistics course. Okay, the next question is, does UC Davis offer a graduate master's degree that uses these 16 credit hours? I know that we do have different food science degrees on campus. The main campus does not offer online degree programs yet. I'm not sure if they're ever going to, but it is something that has allowed for continuing professional education to offer online certificates, because the main campus does not offer online degrees. Now, the degree programs that they do have, you would need to work with the counselors on site to identify how these units will transfer in. Again, they could be used in different ways based on your undergraduate studies. So it would be up to the accepting institution and the counselor to review your prior transcripts and see how these would work in. Okay, the next question that came up is, if needed to accommodate schedules, is it possible to complete all weekly work assignments in 2 to 3 days instead of taking the entire week? Absolutely. That's part of the flexibility to it, which is really amazing. All of the work will be open to you on the first day of the week. So that Monday. Everything is not due until, you have time to review everything and work on it until the end. However, if you needed to complete everything within a certain number of days, you absolutely have that flexibility. If you want to do all of your reading, review your lectures, complete your discussion board, you can do all of that ahead of time. So yes, absolutely, you can work throughout that week at your pace. However, I will put on there that it is not a self-paced class. You cannot work ahead and you cannot fall behind. You must complete weekly. All right. What other questions do we have? Looks like quite a few people completed the poll. Many said that they still have questions. Please put them in there now. I'm more than happy to answer those for you. I'd imagine this probably wasn't the best presentation. I do apologize for that. I am going to send out a recording with the last one that I hosted. If you have an extra 20-30 minutes to kind of skim through that, I do think it was of better substance, so please do take a look there and see how that one compares. I do appreciate everyone hanging in there with me. All right. Are there any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and end that poll now. Okay. Well, I am going to hang on for another minute or two. However, if you have had all your questions asked and you feel like you are already prepared, feel free to sign off. Do register early. Again, the class begins on the 29th. However, everyone will gain access 1 week prior, so that is the 22nd, this upcoming Monday. So please do register early. If you are working with your employer for sponsorship, do provide them that fact sheet and authorization form. They'll just need to sign off on that, send it on over, and then we'll be able to invoice them. I am going to hang on for just another moment, see if any additional questions come in. But if you have already had everything answered, thank you for joining. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing all of you in class. Okay, another question did come in. If we have questions that you won't be able to answer, are we able to meet with the instructors before courses would begin? If you would like to send me your questions, I'd be more than happy to see what I can answer. And then if we need to set you up a meeting with additional resources, I'd be happy to facilitate that. Please do feel free to ask your questions here. If you have the questions, they probably do too. Thank you everyone for joining. I really do appreciate you hanging in there with me, and I will get an email follow-up for you this afternoon. Again, I do apologize that it took so long to get things rolling today, but I will get you all of those details, and I will also include the discounts in there for you as well. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, I thought I saw another one come up. Guess not. Okay, thank you so much for joining, everyone. You have a wonderful day. Appreciate you being here.